Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. From this particular video, we'll be starting a new concept in management accounting, that is cash flow statements. Initially, we'll solve 3 problems in which you will be only asked to calculate the cash flow from operating activities. But moving forward, we will be solving the full-fledged problems where you need to solve even cash flow from operations, cash flow from investing activities, as well as cash flow from financing activity. But initially, we will be solving the problems only related to operations. So similarly, here we have questions. So now, first let us write the format. So write that cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March. So when they have not given any particular year, so just write only this much. So if they have given the name of the company, then you can even write the name of the company as well. So always the cash flow statements has 3 components. In that first components is cash flow from operating activity. So that will be the first component. For that, we have to consider net profit before tax and extraordinary items. So if you see the question, they have given net profit. Questionally net profit kottiyare. How much is the net profit? It is 10,000. So in the outer column, I'll be writing 10,000. So for this, you will add all the non-operating and non-cash expenses which is shown in the P&L account. ಈ ಒಂದು P&L ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಆಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋಣ. ಸ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್. ರೆಂಟ್ is an operating expense. Depreciation is a non-operating expense. So I will write it here, depreciation. Next, loss on sale of plant. Loss on sale of plant is also a non-operating expenditure that I will be writing it over here. Next, it is goodwill written off. Goodwill written off 40,000. It is also non-cash as well as non-operating expenses. Proposed dividend. So this is also, it is a non-cash as well as non-operating expenses. I will be adding it over here. Provisions for tax. This also is a non-operating as well as non-cash expenses. So that's all non-operating and non-cash expenses. So add everything. When you add everything, you get the total, that is 17,000. From this, you have to reduce all the non-operating and non-cash income credited to P&L account. Whatever the non-operating and non-cash incomes are there, which is shown in the above P&L account, that has to be taken into consideration. So first one is gross profit. Ignore gross profit. Next is profit on sale. It is a non-operating income. Profit on sale, non-operating income. Next, you have income tax refund 3,000. This is also, it is a non-operating income. Income tax refund of 3,000 rupees. So that's all in the income side. So when you add both, you will get 8,000. This has to be subtracted. So I have written it in the bracket. So from 10,000, if you add 17,000 and subtract 8,000, you will get 19,000. That 19,000 is known as operating profit before working capital changes. This is known as operating profit before working capital changes. From this, you have to add, for this, you have to add all the increase in current liability, any increase in current liability, as well as decrease in the current assets. There is no other option. You have to know the format. Until and unless you know the format, it is very difficult for you to solve the problem. But don't worry, if you solve many problems, if you practice the problems, automatically you will get used to the format. So you need to add increase in current liabilities and decrease in current assets. In our problem, they have not given any details pertaining to current liabilities as well as current assets. So we will write it as nil. From this, you have to subtract opposite. It is, see, when you will add, when there is an increase in current liabilities and when there is decrease in current assets, you will add. It's vice versa. That is decrease in current liabilities and increase in current assets. You will subtract. So similarly, here there is no information pertaining to current assets as well as current liabilities. So I will write it as nil. So after you subtract, you will get cash flow from operations before tax and extraordinary items. That is 19,000 rupees. From this, first you will reduce income tax paid. There is no details regarding income tax paid, so it will be nil. And you will get cash flow from operations before extraordinary items. From this, you have to subtract the extraordinary items, but in the problem, they have not given any details regarding the extraordinary items. So I will write it as nil. So final answer 19,000 you will get. That is net cash flow from operating activity. This is not the complete cash flow statement. If you observe the question, they have just asked us to find out cash flow from operations. So we have stopped our cash flow statement only till here. But if you go further, there is cash flow from investment activities and cash flow from financing activities. But in this particular problem, they have asked you to only calculate cash flow from operations. So only we are stopping a problem here. Let us in the further videos discuss some more problems, the full-fledged problems, how where in which you have to find the complete, we have to prepare the complete cash flow statement and get the answer tallied. So hope you have understood this particular problem very well. If you have any doubts, you can put your doubts in the comment box so that I'll respond to your doubts as soon as possible. Thank you for watching the video. I'll come back with the next video.